Hello everyone and welcome back to our Lost Eidolons playthrough. It's episode number 13. Last time we destroyed the remaining renegade crows and their manticore, which was a shocker to Eden. And today we're regrouping in camp. And part of that regrouping, which is going to be today's episode, is reading the Codex. So we're going to start with locations and then we'll move on to from there. So let's start with Selvin. Tucked away in a mountainous region on the border of the Misty Woods, Monster Town, or Monster Area, from previous Codex entries, as my kitty comes to say hello. The town of Selvin began as a hunter's lodge and logging camp and grew over time into a cozy hamlet. Once cheerful and bustling, Selvin is today barren and sparsely populated, as the creeping expansion of the Misty Woods brings a rise in monster attacks that threatens to drive out residents entirely. Those who remain eke out a meager living operating inns, stables, and other services for the Imperial Army, which occasionally uses the town as an outpost. Well, that isn't an option anymore since the Imperial Army has been evicted. Portum. The province's largest shipping hub, Portum is known as the Jewel by the Sea. Though its cultural vibrance has been dimmed by the unification, the city remains a cosmopolitan melting pot and is known among Benarians for its rich seafood culture. The signature local dish is espetos, a salty street food that consists of cane-skewered sardines cooked over a wood-fired grill. Don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that stuff. Sardines, yeah. Mora, a ranching community surrounded by fields and pastures, known far and wide for breeding the best horses in Artemesia. Town has fallen on difficult times in the last few years thanks to the crushing taxes and new competition from imperial breeders in Florient. Among Benarians, Mora is also known for its flower trade, particularly the Moran poppy, a delicate white blossom that was a favorite of Leon's mother. And last but not least, we've got Castilian. The old kingdom capital, now an aging fort city, famed for its towering walls and outdoor markets. Yeah, I mean, how do you go from a kingdom capital to an aging fort city in just 20 years? Again, they should have made it like a minimum of 2 centuries. Or even 50 years. Is it raining outside or is that just mist? I think that's just mist on my window because it looks like raindrops, but nope. Apparently it's just super misty out there. So yeah. Famed for its towering walls and outdoor markets, Castilian is the ancestral seat of numerous powerful factions, including House Orsio, the late royal family, and House Fenice, their closest ally. In recent years, the city has become the focal point for rebel activity in the province, owing in no small part to Estoro Fenice, patriarch of House Fenice, and currently the head of a burgeoning Benarian independence movement. Alright. Noble houses, I assume, are going to be the most of this. Nope. Alright, we'll just read through. From here, but I'll go, like, do people after I do information. Lords and ladies are mid-level imperial officials empowered to govern over small territories within a province, such as a single town or city. Exclusively highborn, most inherited their titles hereditarily, hailing from families that betrayed their homelands and aided House Zerpiel during the unification. As with other forms of noble inheritance, such titles usually pass down to whichever child of a family is deemed the most fit, instead of eldest male, which it was historically, or even just eldest child. There are no legal restrictions on the matter with regard to gender, age, or primogeniture. Within their territories, lords and ladies have total authority. While they are ostensibly bound by codes of conduct, such things are rarely enforced so long as they meet tax quotas, enforce cultural edicts, and pay the proper bribes. As a result, most lords and ladies are free to rule however they wish, to the detriment of their subjects. Monster taming. So long as monsters have roamed Artemesia, there have been those who seek to harness them, whether for profit or study. Such efforts usually end in death. Though some assert that monsters are simply animals, this belief is not borne out by reality. Mutated by soulstone energy, monsters are a different form of life entirely. In many ways, a hellhound is as different from a dog as a dog is from a fish. While the behaviors vary wildly from one another, one thing unites all monsters: absolute aggression toward humans. Whether young or old, gently enticed or harshly coerced, a monster will struggle itself to death rather than accept a bridle. On the other hand, crafty souls who accept that fact can find creative ways to take advantage of it. Among mercenary companies who battle monsters today, it is common to appoint quick-footed decoys as bait and make use of provoking tactics. Others, such as Aurelio, have even utilized monsters in warfare, though such methods are inherently risky. Rules of engagement. History of Artemesia is a record etched in blood, forged over untold centuries of battle and rebuilding. As the methods of war have changed, so too have the laws, customs, and culture surrounding it. In centuries past, war was the sole provenance of lifelong warriors, with small-scale battles governed by strict honor philosophies. With the discovery of steel blacksmithing and horse husbandry came the rise of peasant armies and the development of formal codes of chivalry, which persisted for much of Artemesia's history. During the unification, such codes were cast aside with the rapid adoption of practices like poisoning and assassination as everyday tactics, owing in large part to House Zerpiel, which conquered the continent at whatever cost. The Imperial Propaganda Ministry takes great pains to retroactively glorify such tactics, painting the martial cultures of defeated enemies as archaic and foolish. As war once more spreads across the continent, the rules of engagement have begun to evolve again from the asymmetrical strategies of Colin's Crows to the mixed unit tactics of the Binarian rebels. Oh boy, a lot of reading. Study of magic. Magic is deeply rooted in the soil of Artemesia, and has been the subject of curiosity for eons. Sadly, the winds of history have ensured that magical study remains an esoteric field, and public understanding exists in a state of perpetual flux. In ancient times, the practice of magic was reckless and unpredictable, prone to wild surges of power, resulting in countless innocent deaths. For one particularly large-scale incident, a group of exiled mages came together to build a vast library tower, pooling their knowledge to prevent further catastrophe. One man in particular, High Sage Cornelius, dedicated his life to this mission, leaving behind numerous works that would form the foundation of all magical study. In his memory, the tower was dubbed the Cornelian Spire, a symbol of human learning and ingenuity. Tragically, the spire was raised by House Zerpiel during the unification. In the years since, its members have been forced into hiding. Today, most have renounced magic altogether and disappeared into the general population, though some continue their studies in secret, living as beggars and vagabonds, or are part of the hypocritical imperial army, or rebel factions. Horses. Though Artemesia is home to myriad cultures and people, one commonality they all share is a dependence on horses. Though it's unknown when wild horses were first introduced to the continent, it is generally believed they were first domesticated sometime in the past 2 millennia. Since then, a number of specialized breeds have arisen to suit certain tasks and environments. A horse from Nibosa, with its heavy tresses and thick coat, is worlds different from those born in Corsarinda, notable for their sleek summery manes. From antiquity, the ranching town of Mora in the province of Benario has been famed for breeding the swiftest coursers and the strongest destriers, whose descendants can still be found in the stables of Artemesia's wealthiest families. However, since the war, regions such as Viodel and Florient have also seen a surge in horse husbandry, supplying the majority of cavalry stock to the imperial army. Ooh, nice emblem there. House Fenice, a proud family with a storied history. House Fenice rose in antiquity from the city watch of Castilian and enjoyed a close relationship with the kingdom's former ruling power, House Orsio. In the family's glory days, Amadeo Fenice served as Benario's chief protector and was widely beloved by its people. Tragically, House Fenice's flame was snuffed during the unification when Amadeo was killed during the war. The royal family was massacred and Benario fell. The years that followed, the Fenice family's influence has waned and their fortune has all but been obliterated under vindictive imperial taxes. Nonetheless, the embers of once great names still burn, and Amadeo's legacy lives on through his brother Isoro's rebellion, his son Balastar's victories on the battlefield. After years of biding their time, House Fenice is now poised to explode from the ashes and unleash the fires of hell on its enemies, hence the phoenix, I assume, as the emblem. House Corax, no emblem for them. A guerrilla force of outlaws and outcasts, Colin's Crows are a persistent thorn in the Empire's side, able to strike quickly at provincial outposts and scatter to the hills before reinforcements arrive. For this reason, and despite the reprisals they often incite, the crows enjoy widespread popularity among the dispossessed, an image they happily embrace. It is all too common for an unsuspecting village to awaken overnight and discover their town square has been papered with Colin's latest manifesto, proclaiming impending victory against the conqueror's serpents. In recent years, the crows have inflicted a string of surprisingly costly losses on imperial forces, threatening to destabilize the throne itself. Both disorganized leadership and divided internal factions, they've struggled to convert temporary victories into lasting change. Meaning that House Korax is not a legitimate house. It is simply... I forgot what it's called. I haven't played enough CK3 recently to remember what it's called. But it's not like a... It's a self-proclaimed noble house, I should say. Now on to people. Chelsea. A highborn sworn to Ballastar's house, Chelsea has a quick wit and a savage tongue. On the battlefield, she puts down enemies with ruthless efficiency. In camp, she apparently derives great pleasure from ridiculing those she deems inferior. Selena. Naturally shy and reserved, Selena often hides behind her younger sister Lila, despite being the elder. Though not one to angle for attention, she can often be found meticulously training and preparing for battle in her own way. Ballastar. Cool outfit, dude. Hailing from the country of Benario, Ballastar is the heir to the prestigious Fenice family. Though war claimed much of his house at a young age, he was brought up under the wing of his uncle Isoro, better known as the Broken Blade. Charismatic, calculating, and staunch in his beliefs, Ballastar's only flaw happens to be his fiery temper, leading him to act impulsively, so he can be baited. Interesting. Having witnessed the horrors of war and the suffering that followed, Ballastar holds a deep resentment towards Emperor Ludovictus. He seeks nothing less than the absolute destruction of the Empire and to be the one who brings them to their knees. With a fiery air of natural authority and a voice that makes even the laziest soldier snap to attention, Ballastar quickly ascended the ranks of his uncle's army and became his most capable general. Though his heart is a fortress, he occasionally does open the gates to those who gain his trust. On rare occasions, his bellowing laugh can be heard ringing throughout the camp, especially after a victory. Alright, let's see who Geo is. Isoro's brother and Ballastar's uncle. As another proud son of the Fenice family, Geo is more than competent in battle. However, he is more known for his gentle heart and jovial nature. He enjoys a good reputation with soldiers in camp, who regard him like a kindly father figure. Interesting that he's with us. I suppose he's actually attached to Ballastar's army, but since we're sharing the same camp, we can talk to him while he's around our soldiers. Guillermo. A man of logic and logistics, sorry, misread those. Guillermo acts as the chief strategist for Isoro and his army. Though brilliant at his work, his natural air of condescending superiority often makes him a target of practical jokes. Really? He's the strategist? I would have thought he was the intelligence chief, or I guess a medieval speak spy master for Isoro, even if his main job is intelligence gathering instead of actual spying. Godfrey. A burly warrior with a short temper, Godfrey enjoys the exhilaration of fighting and is constantly chasing the high of victorious battles. He doesn't hesitate to speak his mind, particularly where he perceives weakness. So, more of a berserker type. Squares up to Francisco, I assume. Gilbert. In Benario, it's said that an old man's head holds more wisdom than a king's library. In Gilbert's case, it also holds more booze than a king's wine cellar. Native to the Benario province, Gilbert was once a famed tactician in his own right, with a dedication to his people matched only by his love of strong drink. So I guess he's been an alcoholic for a while. During the imperial conquest, it was his quick wit that saved the lives of countless commoners, many of whom were conscripted into war against their will. Yet there's only so much one man can do in the face of overwhelming might. Disillusioned by the Empire's victory, and though sacrificed to lay its foundations, Gilbert retired from military service and renounced the world. In the years thereafter, he could most often be found at the nearest pub, heavily inebriated, yet cursed with the unshakable lucidity of one who has seen too many senseless deaths. When a promising young mercenary invited him to join the rebel cause, Gilbert begrudgingly took up arms once more to finish the work he failed to complete so long ago. Elias. Whoops. A wise old man who has seen his share of wars and conquests, and Ballastar's most experienced advisor, he has a careful, deliberative approach in war meetings, tends to do more listening than talking, only speaks when he has something important to say. Good man to listen to and take cues from when he starts showing them. Isoro. I'm surprised he has so little text. I would have thought he would have 2 paragraphs, at least. Patriarch of the noble Phoenice family, Isoro once fought to resist the Empire's conquest of Artemesia. His failure cost the life of his brother and the dignity of their house, or so Isoro seems to believe. Now, with vengeance rekindled and years of preparation, Isoro leads the largest rebel force in Benario, determined to finish what he started all those years ago. Finally, Alina. Kind and soft-hearted, Alina is a much-needed beacon of hope for the wary soldiers in camp. Though gentle, she can assert a stern demeanor when needed, driving her allies to give their all, if only to avoid disappointing her. Yeah, the archer who almost went down. Oh wait, I still have 2 more. Lila and Rosalina. Lila. Often found accompanying her sister Selena, whom she takes it upon herself to protect from the rougher elements in camp, known for having a chilly, walled-off demeanor, especially around people she doesn't know. And finally, Rosalina. Well, you look like a master archer. A woman of few words, Rosalina is difficult to approach, much less read. Regardless, she is deadly with a bow and carries out Isoro's orders without hesitation. Well, if you needed an assassin, Isoro, I'd say you've probably got one. Alright, well, took me a little bit less time than I thought to read through all that. Unfortunately, it is nighttime. I was hoping for like an evening one, though I suppose I've been a little spoiled. Ooh, cutscene. So what do you think of us farmers now that you've seen us in action? Don't get full of yourself. All full of yourself. Winning 1 or 2 battles doesn't put you on our level. Not even close. Sheesh, you really don't know when someone's trying to make peace. I'll give you 1 chance to apologize and we'll forget it ever happened. Ha! Me? Apologize to you? I'll pass, but thanks. Now get out of my face. She is annoying. I'm a bit busy at the moment. Can't talk any sense into this one.
Yeah,
She's just too twisted. I think if we trained hard enough. Didn't get to catch the first part. Years gods, I hope the war doesn't last that long. Probably will, though. Would like to know more about the religion of this universe. Because they talk about gods, yet it seems priest is just shorthand for magic user. Here's my little dais. Can't even climb up it. Heard there was a new face in camp. There's been a lot of folks coming here just to join our unit. Ballastar's getting a big reputation. Ha, look at us, we're famous. So I guess these are Ballastar's men. General? Wait, I'm a general now? Who was stupid enough to do that? Nothing to report on patrol. Oh no, it was you two. If we trained hard enough, we could draw in Commander Ballastar's unit. Okay, so, those 2 are definitely from our camp, but they're true believers. So we're Bear with a side quest. Elias. Got room to grow, for now anyway. Elias, sir. Apologies, but I don't have time to chat. Okay. Maybe later. Alright, well, we'll deal with the task board later. You were the newcomer, right? Oh wait, no, you're part of Ballastar's unit. You're a peer? Okay. It's my 2nd battle, but I still don't feel like I know what I'm doing out there. One of our men, then. Then there's Commander Ballastar's troops. Those people fight like they were born for it. They really put everything on the line. Lila. And Selena. You'll always be my baby sister. That's cute. Oh, you're a priest too. Okay. And you are a knight. Or, not a knight. Whatever comes after knight. Or not whatever comes after knight. You're a warrior. That reminds me, I need to go to skills. Looks like I got all the skills. Or auto-selecting for now. Okay, that's all. Alright, well, this is where this episode ends. Next time, we will talk with people in the camp. Till then.